Thank you, Mr. Satish Sharma ji, Mr. Bajaj, Dr. Sonde, Dr. Arvind Kumar, other distinguished dignitaries. We already have about 2 dozen people participating. This is a subject which is of great interest, but we started on time more or less. As we go on along, there would be more participants joining the webinar. I think battery is an issue and battery is a product. And battery is an innovation which is centuries old. And all of us have been using battery in various applications in industry. In almost all factories, they have batteries to take care of any eventuality. The battery we have with watches, the battery we have with our every system. We have been used to this. Why it has assumed a great dimension now on global basis and more so on India basis. And that is because of the climate change concerns and all the countries, and more particularly India, because of its size and because of size of energy expansion that we have planned. One way that is helping us in carbon emission challenge, that we go in big way for solar. We have agenda for 500 gigawatt of renewable, mostly solar by 2030. That is one, and then that will go on. India's potential for solar capacity, solar project development is huge. So it will go 500 gigawatts, 700 gigawatts, 1000 gigawatt, like that. And this is a huge relief from carbon emission, and also from the point of view of variable cost. Of course, it has some associated financial burden, no doubt about it, but then you don't have the hassle of coal or gas to be burnt and without ignoring the need for continued generation and continued maybe a modest growth of even coal sector. India's demands are going to be so huge because in terms of our ranking on power and our ranking therefore also on our per capita income, we have a long way to go. Central City Authority has projected right up to 2047, and that is a very, very great projection. And perhaps I am of the view that projection may have to be further increased if we really want to catch up, and we want to make up for the gaps that got created over the last many, many decades in our per capita electricity consumption. So it will go on. The first is that we have huge solar capacity already there in place now, and it is increasing. And in the evening, solar is not available. So you need to do something. So there is one definite reason, and it has come out now. At this capacity of solar also, we have another challenge that solar during the daytime, at this capacity also, we have to ask them not to generate because transmission system has and perhaps cannot pick up at the same speed as the solar capacity development happens. So therefore, we need to preserve what we are not producing. We need to preserve. So if you have battery, and therefore you can charge the battery and use the energy when you need. So one challenge is to take care of this stranded capacity during daytime, and the extent of stranded capacity is going to go on increasing as our capacity increases, because the gap between the requirement of transmission and the transmission availability, transmission infrastructure availability will always be there. We can't totally avoid it because gestation period of transmission is much longer and gestation period of solar power project development is very short, maybe 8 months, maybe maximum 1 year. Another reason is the variation in generation, variation in load itself. We can't predict all the types of variations that are happening. New loads coming up, rural loads are coming up in a big way. Rural India is going to consume electricity in a significant way now. Industrialization is going to consume electricity. So therefore, variations in load predictable, workable, but then we can't be very accurate in that. Generation centers are different and consumption centers are different. Take, for example, our Gujarat area, Khavda area, and Jaisalmer area in Rajasthan. These are the main generation center for solar. And we have consumption center, not so much in these areas, and therefore we have to send there. And it is there where transmission system and the lag in transmission system is causing a requirement of energy that can be produced, power that can be produced from solar, but that need to be stored. So applications, the needs are enormous and they are going to be there. All these things are predictable. It is not that it is not known, it has not been known, but somehow, inevitably in our system, in Indian system particularly, when the crisis at the door, exactly when we see the crisis, then our response becomes more active, very active. Already a large number of battery energy storage systems are happening now. It has started happening. Adani have already gone to some extent in this, in Khavda. Others are going. And this is mass scale import of lithium-based battery. So mass scale import. And it will continue. So the satisfying factor is that we do not have lithium to the extent that would be needed. But then lithium is there available internationally, and there is some degree of competition. So one can feel to some extent, reduce of discomfort for import, that global competition will keep the price under some discipline. One is not sure. But our dependence on lithium import will continue. And that's happening. There are plans by these big generating companies, including Adani, to set up huge battery factory. So that the present speed of import and the extent of import is reduced. Now, this new technology, we discussed about lithium. We were not discussing battery as the real standby. Only a couple of years back, we were talking of hydrogen. Dr. Sonde is there. I think 2 years or 3 years back, right in our forum, we had a very extensive and acceleration on hydrogen and whatever hydrogen help us in this energy management system. And that time battery was not in the race. Battery cost was excessive. It is understood that battery cost has drastically reduced and can reduce further. And therefore, it is coming as a reasonable standby. In case of India, these type of demands are going to be so huge. It is difficult to say that whether we should choose this or we should choose that. It looks like we need hydrogen also. It looks like we need concentrated solar power also, CSP also. We need battery also. We need pump storage. Take, for example, pump storage. The potential for pump storage is of the order of 250 gigawatt, and pump storage scheme is being supported, and it has merit to be supported because we don't have to depend on import in this case. So I think India will not have this or that or that. I think we will have to have a mix of pump storage. We will have wind as itself as a backup in the evening. Wind turbine is also going in a big way. We'll have concentrated solar. There is a case that it can happen. Concentrated solar again is not a new technology. It was there, but was not affordable at certain point of time because input power cost was high. Input power, maybe today you have already started seeing that if we are standing the capacity, almost for free you will get solar power, or at a very nominal price you will get solar power. That has made all the difference in the charging of the system or running of the pumps for turbine generated in pump storage. So therefore, we need to be open. We need to be open. We should definitely evaluate the relative merit and demerits of every system. But it looks to me that lithium battery will already it has arrived. Iron air battery, which is today's subject, we will need to be, at least I will need to be educated a little more. Little bit that I have been able to lay hand on, that it is comparatively less costly. That is one. Its applications are for certain situations where lithium battery may not be aptly okay, but there will be other applications because applications of battery in Indian context are going to be numerous. So that is another thing. But then I have also come to understand that at this stage, in certain countries, particularly in China, iron air battery is still, it has not taken off the way it has taken off in case of lithium battery. That is not to say that this is not a viable option. So the more we will like to learn from Dr. Sondi and Arvind, who are presenting the detailed analysis and their work. Also, we like to know where we are. Unfortunately, in most of the cases, our system is such industry interface with academia, industrial interface with government, industry interface for R&D, that has been so sort of disconnected, not very orderly, in an orderly manner connected. So that means we always get timed off and we keep waiting for China to give something, from somebody else to give something. But I'm very happy and I feel proud that IIT Delhi and other IITs and many other institutions and researchers like Dr. Sonde and others, they have been striving, working hard, trying to explore what all can be done. I'm not very sure that our response, our industry response has been so enthusiastic. It is needed. It is needed so that someday we can say that this is it, this is it. We have brought it to a level, prototype to commercial, to viable options. Viability, India's demand always gives comfort for viability. The demand is so huge that if technology has come to some level, there is no reason why it will not be viable because of the size of the demand in almost every case. So if there are gaps, we need to analyze. So one is the academic and research aspect of it. Another is the management aspect of it. In both these areas, there have to be a forward movement, and I'm sure there will be forward movement. Demand from the country is there because we cannot afford to be so much dependent on petroleum fuel. So the whole energy mix of India is undergoing to change in next 5-10 years at a very fast speed. That will provide additional opportunity for technology like this. So with these few suggestions, with these few comments, I would now like to listen to the very great scholarly presentations from the eminent scientists and engineers. Thank you.